And I kept thinking,
Have you seen the new room that we have downstairs?
I mean, the inside was like a shopping mall, you know, you can see hallways and all this.
They did away with that little area in there.
Don't touch anything with freights on the page.
Downstairs.
Yeah, where the shops are.
I didn't even think of it.
And so what
Stop
they
that.
have.
Ah, gotcha, Aunt Marge. Too late.
Stop it.
I've got you.
It wasn't
First time we went down there.
Can't escape. Look at that. Boy, I've got them both in. No way we escape. Well, they look like they're dancing.
Oh, come on, Janie.
I've never.
dignity at all times.
I know. It looks like they're dancing.
Well, we've been known to do that.
Yeah.
The Labada, or what is it?
The libido.
The big. No.
You've been to Chicago twice, so that's that. The major.
They tore the house down before I got there.
Comprehensive major.
Oh, wonderful to see you. Give that crazy Joan a big hug for me, will you?
Music
We
history
missed her.
class.
Great to see you.
got out
Oh,
3
yeah,
years
we
last
did.
summer.
Long way ahead of us.
And I thought I could got out.
Thanks, we will. You did a great job. Boy, what an organizer. There's handsome Denny. Good to see you, Denny.
One eye.
Oh, you're cameraman. Thanks for the diaper.
Certainly.
Minor specialization in language arts.
Good to see you, Jean. Thanks again.
Get all these guys. I wonder if Walt knows he's being recorded.
Aunt Laura, tell John that we didn't miss her. Yes, we did too. We missed her terribly. Yeah. Wonder what happened between them. Well, loved your new London. Well, we delayed the delayed writing. It was just barely in the border. St. Margaret, Scotland, didn't even stay.
That's why she was trying to work. She meant work.
Aren't all bad.
Yes.
Okay, this is you to hand in.
Oh, indeed, indeed, yes.
If you remember, she had high heels when she started down the aisle of the church and she broke both of them.
What was this, Sue? Oh, I can remember that. I remember that wedding well.
Oh, if I'd known then what I know
I
now.
know. But at that time I said, that Walt is a handsome, dashing, debonair guy. And then I grew up.
Once upon a time, you had the wrong guy, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Yeah, well, look at this. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah, see that?
Yes, I was like that here.
Right, Dennis, I'm afraid that.
Oh, we
Well,
were-
I do look like that.
I know.
We had talks about going and renting a car. I'm glad we did it.
I think you should want to.
You're official next time you get a visitor. Jean, you're official.
We wanted to be away from
She was
the
coming
rest.
anyway, and I said, can I ride like this? You can have to walk away.
That's a thought. The way we did
I was hoping that
Hoping what?
hoping that you would be
Oh, now,
We've been tied. We've had.
So you think I was putting you on, don't you?
I know you're trying to do more, but so she can argue with it.
Yes, we left yesterday. There's Benny a week down on the.
Oh, Debbie has a good time on her baby.
Oh, we got you. This is, yes, this is your life. This is your life. On TV.
Well, now
at the border. We want to get a close up here.
Good Lord.
We're just
You got it, don't you?
not sure.
Come on, Susan.
Well, yeah, this. Uh-oh, we're going to get another close up.
With radar.
Now that's Amanda. See how?
Marge, what was it you played? The clarinet?
Yeah.
And Joy would sit.
Dad would go as far away as he could get, and nobody liked my clarinet playing.
Did you play for the band?
Oh,
or-
yeah.
Oh,
Are you in the
yes,
band
she
too?
had her uniform and everything.
The whole works,
God, I
huh?
can remember that.
We had to work for that uniform. I don't like politics, and that's the reason. Because we had to go to all the political speeches to make money over at Ripley.
And is this
We played for the speeches. Everybody came there and gave political speeches in the courthouse. We played for
And
it.
I think that's June or
Then we had a big field of potatoes up there beside the football
that's June
field.
and I.
We raised that. We went to 4-H club, and
I
we
don't know
did
which
everything we could
I
do.
didn't remember about the.
I was the biggest when we were born, and June took
We
over soon
got
after
the money
that.
for our uniform.
This is June.
Was
June
this
always
the
fun.
high school band?
yeah. We had to be up at the old school building, you know, when 17, whatever it was.
1887.
Whoever.
Yeah.
We had to be up there for band practice at 8 o'clock every morning during school. And we couldn't take time off from school to practice the band.
We had to practice after school
Either
was
Time
over.
off for athletics or anything else, that was all done after school.
This is Mom's. I said,
So you were in the band for what, 4 years? Or were you in all years?
3 or 4 years. I don't know
these
what.
are our surrogate
We didn't have,
grandparents across
one
the street
year,
from
I
us.
know we didn't have a bus to go on. Only we didn't have school buses, that back in this day. So we used to go down, and we made 2 or 3 trips down in the high for something or other to play, and we got paid for it. And we rode on a flatbed truck, you know,
Is this kitten dog?
had fun.
I remember your uniform, so that red cape.
Yeah, and we weren't allowed to wear slacks in those days. Mr. Flynn wouldn't out wear them like that, we had to have a skirt.
Well, now
Was
let's see.
Whetstone
Would that
your-
be?
Whetstone
When
was
You can't
that.
have,
He was a
tell
good
what kind of
director.
clothes.
One
Whether
year,
this
we
was-
went
whether this
to,
was been early
we couldn't march
with grandma and grandpa, or whether this was
Didn't
Hazel
get squat.
Reed's.
but Mr. Whetstone sent over in to Athens and got a drum major. And boy, he could really put it on, you know. We Ravens would play Parkersburg, and they beat Parkersburg, and we went out on the field at the half, you know, to march. And Parkersburg band didn't come out. That guy strutted so. We could really play good, but we couldn't march.
Came out of the river.
That's the only time we outdid Parkersburg. Boys beat him, and we kept everybody off the field at halftime.
Now what year was that?
Now, who is this?
What year would that have been?
I graduated in
Well, I guess
'33,
I
so
saw him at the wedding, and that
back,
was about
you know,
3 or 4 years
Yeah.
back from 33. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dad would have still been on the farm then,
yeah.
working?
He was,
I gotta figure out what
I
the
think,
numbers
I
are,
don't
'cause he and
know.
Dad
I can
put the numbers
remember
on, like,
riding around in the
how old
back,
they were when they
the
were
rumble
like
seat of
five
his
years
car. That's the only car I
puddle
ever
jumper.
rode in the mountains.
Yeah.
We had, I rode a lot in that, what's the name of it, that had the little seats that pulled up? It sat in the shed of the barn, and I used to ride in that thing all the time, along with the chickens and everything. Had 2 little seats that pulled up.
Run it by here.
That's the one that, do you remember
My
Mr.,
dad died in 80.
oh, can't think who you want to say. He
And
was,
75, and he just
thought
had
he
his
was
75th
really
birthday.
important, Mr. Adams, had a
And
goatee.
then, his dad died.
Yeah, Solon and Hazel and a whole bunch of them were going to Ripley for 4th of July. And he was always crowding in. They'd had about all they could take of him. He'd just come down and say he was going and get in the car, and they couldn't move him.
We
You
knew it
know,
was bad,
didn't know
but
how to get him out of there without frustrating
Well, he had
Uncas,
had
so
a mild
Solon was
heart
driving, of course.
about 2
When they
weeks
got over
before
there,
that.
they told him what time they were going to take off, and they were hoping they could get it started before he got to the car. But he was there waiting on them in the car.
Oh,
damn.
damn. Surprised.
There was a, coming back, there was a real good, he'd lean back there and was snoring so loud they couldn't hardly stand it. He had a goatee and everything else. So Solon knew where this real dip was, you know. And he looked over at Hazel and said, hold on. Boy, when they come down with that, he grabbed his chin, everything. That boy, he was bright as a nut ball. That's the way he was.
I know what you're at.
Oh,
And in Wilmington,
yeah, ever
Okay.
see. And everything that went on, he wanted to be in.
Look at Denny down there with that video.
I know.
I tell you, this
I-
would be.
He's getting all the
No,
stories
this,
and records.
this not even on.
We can see there with that
Not
big
even
red
on.
light. Right.
Yeah, but the light just plays there.
I think you're out of film there, did the red lights
You
blinking?
certainly must be.
Must be.
I think so. I wouldn't swear to it. You used to have Modern Deck, they were the ones
Right.
before that, and then these were the ones after.
Modern Deck are the ones Dad talked about.
When
The
I was a
Kid
little
Doll are the
kid.
ones I remember.
Dad always talked about Maud.
Modern Deck.
Deck.
I never met them, but I met
And every
Kid
time we
Doll.
did something wrong, whoa, Maud, or something.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always Maud too. You were never Dad. You were Maud. So
Yeah,
Maud
Maud.
must have been the different.
Maud must have been stubborn or something. I don't know.
And I remember being called Sammy and having you called Sammy when you threw a fit.
And you know who
You
that
didn't
was,
believe he
Uncle
threw a
Sam.
fit.
Who's Sammy?
I don't know.
Sammy
You know
was
Sammy, whoever
Dad's
he was.
brother that didn't have any more and he needed up here. He's
Okay.
the one that was up over the kitchen.
All right.
He was
all right.
always taking me up on his lap and practicing. He was crazy, I tell you.
And whenever you did something goofy or what, say, all right, Sammy, now, you know, I can remember hearing that too.
Well, he got a little bit too.
You mean you got called Sammy?
Oh, shoot, yes. Well, or Aunt Ella, you know Aunt Ella was, she was, oh, man, bless her heart.
No, Aunt Ellie.
And Ellie Lewis, that was
Oh,
one of
that
Dad's
didn't bring
sisters.
any, that was
No,
Grandpa's
we
sister.
weren't called Ellie.
Oh,
We were
well,
called
that's long
Sam
before.
or Maud.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one, Mother said they went to visit one time. This is a terrible thing to talk about.
You're on
Anyhow,
film,
Dad
too.
wanted to go to the bathroom, and there was 2 or 3 other people in the outhouse, and Aunt Ellie said to Mother, said, just get a corn cob and tell him to hold it.
Oh!
I thought, you know, you can't believe somebody this old and no children would say something like this to a niece, but this, I said, Mother, did she really say that? And she said, yes, she did. So, at any rate, she was a little character.
She always told me she was the booger man. And
I
I believed it.
Where did she live?
Out Spencer up on the bank across the, you know, if you didn't drive, you had to go across the bridge and walk up the steps.
We
Okay.
stopped to see her one time and she didn't recognize anybody and Mother asked her where her glasses were and she said that dang fool Ellie dropped her glasses and stepped on them. And Mom said, well, you know, we can get you new glasses. And Ellie said, well, before we go get glasses, well, let's have something to eat. Well, there wasn't a thing to eat in the house. And she said, well, Ellie got so mad at herself she wouldn't feed her. And Mom said, well, we can go to a restaurant. So we went to the restaurant, and then we went to first we went to the eye doctors. Got our
Right.
glasses prepared, or started prepared. Then we went to the restaurant and had lunch. Then we went back to the eye doctors, and they fixed a pair of glasses for her. And then we went to the grocery store, and then we went back to Aunt Ellie's. And Aunt Ellie walked in the house and put on her glasses and walked over in front of the mirror and says, there you are, you old fool.
Yes, she would talk about herself. I can even remember that when we'd visit.
She kind of scared me. I was just a little bit.
Well, she was
out
little.
there.
You know, she'd have this little apron
I know, I
and she
miss
just
her.
start out, walk just
Maybe you
real
lucked
fast,
out.
and as Steve said,
She
she'd
was on the
say,
chamber
really?
side
You
more.
know,
I
she
don't
just,
know, maybe.
they had no children, and she just talked to herself and called
Pull
herself
up a chair.
all those names. Yes, honey.
Now that was Ellie Chambers?
Ellie
Yeah.
Lewis.
Lewis.
Chambers Lewis.
She married Uncle George
Oh, Ellie Lewis.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
was
was
married.
Ellie
She
Chambers
was a
Lewis.
Chambers, though. but
Oh, okay, so she
Uncle
married
George
a
Lewis,
Lewis. I
She
see.
was Dad's sister.
Right.
My dad's sister.
I see.
yes. But now, which was it Aunt Sally Sinnott on Oklahoma that was Grandpa's sister,
Yeah.
or Uncle Abel? Oh, that was a Sinnott.
There's another one of the Chambers was out there, man.
Yeah.
Whatever his name was, he was Dad's brother. But Lon? Is that anything about Lon?
Well, I was thinking Lon was the
Maybe
son of
Sally's.
yeah, I think
That's
so.
right. I'm not too well up, but there's a Chambers
Well,
boy
see, they
down
were
there.
mother's age, honey.
There
Because
was,
this, what was her name? Good Lord, Mother talked about her so much.
Blanche, there was a,
Blanche Sinnott, right, and I forget who she married, but she was about Mother's age. And when Mother had that nervous breakdown, they sent her to Oklahoma. She and Blanche just had a big time. And Lon, I think, was her brother, and she had another brother. And of course, James Earl, not James Earl, what was her daughter's name? She came back here one time on a visit.
Jim
Jimel, that's it.
James.
Right.
Now, she and I were the same.
Were you? But now she, yeah, you don't remember her?
Now
Of course,
that-
this was Chambers.
Right, now that's one of Granddad's brothers' family?
Granddad's sister's family.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that right, Marge?
Well, there was a brother and a sister both out there.
Oh, well, I know, okay.
What town in Oklahoma were they in?
Lawton. It was.
Well, some of them were in Lawton. What was the other town?
Don't tempt me, I don't know where I live.
Lon Senate was in Lawton
In
because
Lawton.
Leon was stationed at Fort Bragg.
Right.
No, not Fort Bragg, Fort Sill,
Sill,
Oklahoma.
Fort Sill, right.
And Mother wrote and told him to go visit, and he wouldn't do it. And Mommy, she wrote to Lon, and Lon went out and got him,
Right.
to
Looked
get
him
him.
up.
And after that, well, they couldn't keep him on camp then because Leon said, there's
That's
lots
such
of
a
pretty
big time,
girls out
right?
here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But now it seemed to me like that Blanche and whatever her husband's name didn't live in Lawton. Like they lived, what's another town out there?
I've written some addresses and many letters out there, I ought to know it.
Yeah. But now they went out there because Uncle Abel had asthma or something, and he
Was
needed
it Wichita Falls?
That was one place that I remember.
Now that was Aunt Ollie,
Okay.
and she was the wife of the brother of Grandpa's that was out there. Now isn't that right? Aunt Ollie Chambers, that maybe Mother was named after.
I guess that's right. Whatever you say.
Whatever you say.
Doesn't have to suit me.
That covers it.
That covers it, Jim.
I've never been out there. No,
Well, I don't either. And I just, now I know Lon lived in Lawton, but I can't think, doesn't seem to me like Blanche and Jim L.
Frederick?
And apparently her husband's
Frederick,
name
Oklahoma.
was
That's very
Frederick.
good.
That's it. Got it.
Hey,
Got it.
give that man a balloon.
I think of $64 or whatever.
Good
Did y'all ever
input.
hear the story about the girl being out on the road out Spencer? Out on Clover Ridge, they had an old cow named Rosie, I think it was. Did you ever hear that?
No, I don't think, go a little
The
further.
girls were all-
What girls, Mom?
All sitting around there on this
Her
kind
older
of a
sisters.
bank.
Your
And,
sisters?
yeah, the cow was eating grass, you know, and paying too much attention to him. Hazel said she was feeling real hurt. She just pulled up her, they had on long dresses, you know, pulled it tight across her rear, and went over where Rosie was, said, "Butt me, Rosie." Rosie did, put her down over the hill. Oh, she did it just right up her face.
I couldn't remember who it was.
Did you never hear that?
I never heard that one
Lucy and Ollie and I, they used to tell me some of the
I said, when
wildest
she said, "Butt me, Rosie," I remember that, but I had no idea who got butted or what, but I remember the butt me, Rosie.
That was funny.
Oh, boy.
Ollie used to tell me that, you know, she and Lucy would get out and ride the horses till they lathered up, and Dad had told them not to do that, so they'd get off and walk for the
Walked in.
before they got home.
Mother would always say Lucy was smarter than she was. She knew when to stop and when not to stop. And Mother would always fall off the bicycle or everything else, you know, so, oh dear, what a time.
I was going to tell you, did your dad ever tell you about coming clearing the barn and Dad yanking him off the horse?
Not,
They were, it was one of the work horses, but it was wet out, and he'd come riding right up through the wheat field, you know, it was up about so high. Dad just happened to catch him as he came into the barn. He jerked him off and like to beat him to death.
don't go through the wheat
Ed
field when
said,
it's wet, huh?
That teaches me. I'll know never to ride in the wheat field again.
Oh gosh, I remember we used to go out and play in the barn, and we'd get up on the mow up overhead, you know, and slide down on the hay or whatever it was that was up there. And of course, you know, it took so much work to put it up there, and we kids would get up there and
Tear it
slide
down.
down. I think you were probably involved in that.
Surely not.
Yeah, I think.
Surely not.
I think
Oh.
because I wouldn't do anything like that.
You
just saw. You
saw others doing
Yeah. Unless somebody said, hey.
Yeah, but it was itchy for a really long time after that.
Well, Lee has quite a basketball court, you know, when they get the middle section cleared out. They had nets at both ends, baskets. And kids come down from town. And
Indoor
court. We really had basketball games. I got to play because I was as good as they were.
Who all was playing in that?
Well, your dad and anybody else that was there played.
Jers probably played.
Jers
didn't
got
he?
in on that. Jers was there lots of times.
I remember a basketball game at the high school, and it was all chambers. One team was all chambers. And the sidelines, you had to stand sideways because the sideline, the out of bounds was right up against the wall. You had to turn your feet sideways and throw the ball in. But
Eddie used to get some ad. The first year that they said for me to come out for basketball. The second year too, but I didn't allowed to get to play that first year except Huntington came up and Faye Chambers and all that bunch. Faye Rector was that time. They had such a good team that they had just cleared everything in the state practically. And when Huntington came up, the coach put me in, you know, along about Ravenswood was way ahead. This girl walked out there. She was out that much higher, and I took scared to death, and I jumped, you know, and the ball went up and tipped it. Boy, the crowd just went wild. I felt like I'd really done something.
Queen of the day, huh?
But Eddie used to get mad at me because of Coach Law. He coached us and them too.
Yeah.
And he said, all I heard was, "Why don't you play like your sister does?" And he said, I told him all she ever does is just circle the basket waiting for somebody to throw the ball. Poor Ed, he had that little thing where you went up to score, that put the score down, that's what Noel fell off of and landed on his head.
yeah.
Oh,
Who
mercy.
was it that sat down on the heater, the little gas heater,
Shoot, I don't
In
know.
the gym?
in the gym? Yeah.
Oy vey.
I don't remember that.
They got
That's a
up in a
hot
hurry.
seat.
Yeah, I was going to say they didn't stay there long. I bet you.
Did Noel play? Did he play organized sports or I know Dad did. I know
Yeah,
you
your dad
did.
and I think Noel played some, maybe. I don't know for sure.
Mark played a lot, though, didn't he?
Mark played a lot.
Well, I want to know something. When Mother played, I've seen pictures of her in those bloomers they used to wear. Did any of the other girls play the same time she did?
I can't remember any of the other girls playing basketball.
I can't imagine my mother playing basketball.
Sally was not able, you know, she couldn't do anything. She wasn't able to do any work at home, but ever dance and everything like that.
I remember stories about helping her in and out the windows for that. That was
That
was her physical
activity.
What was wrong with Sally? She couldn't do it.
Well, she had some kind of lung problems. I don't know what it was. But
Congestion
she
problems of some kind.
made me so mad one time when there was a whole bunch of them there, you know, and I had to help. Saturday, always when school was going on, I had to clean the house, you know, and do that kind of work. And Sunday, they had the moving picture in Ravenswood at that time on Sunday afternoon, of course not.
I remember.
Well, Dad didn't like for me to go on Sunday, of course, but Mother thought it was all right because I didn't have a chance to go at night. I couldn't go to town for anything unless Ed or somebody was with me, unless I had a real good excuse and I had some way of getting home and getting there, and you helped, you name it, anyhow.
You were the baby girl.
I was the
Yes,
baby girl.
the baby
Well,
girl.
anyhow, I helped. I didn't do too much cooking, but I helped with the table, and I always got to take care of the little kids, you know, keep them from killing each other. And so Mother had told me when as soon as dinner was over, I could go to the movie. And I was in the front room. I remember looking in that mirror, and Sally came, "Where are you going?" Of course, she was married and had kids and was just back for the day. And I said, "I'm going to the movies." Mother said, "Well, I don't think you should leave till the dishes are washed." Boy, it just made me madder than fire. I don't know if I said anything to her, but I went to Mother and I said, "Sally thinks I'll stay and help with the dishes." She said, "Keep warm. I'll take care of Sally."
That's the last you
I
heard.
thought, Sally, I've heard it all my life that she never had to do anything, but she could go every place.
She's too frail.
So I was real mad at her to start with. I remember that. And then
She was jealous of you being the baby. She'd been the baby too long.
Well, I guess so. But when they lived in St. Albans, I went down, she wanted me to come down for 3 days to help out. And Doyle had this little coop of a thing, and he'd take Mary Alice to the ice cream place and get ice cream cones. Well, I had eaten lots of ice cream made in freezers, but I've never had ice cream cone that I can remember. And I was enjoying mine, licking it, and saving it. When she got to the third, she finished it off right quick, and she got it. I had to give it to her. Next night I could eat this fast as she could.
Yeah, I had to do that on the candy bar with Kathy once. After that, I was like you, man, I moved fast. Oh. But the first 5-pound box of candy I ever got from a boy, I just ate a few pieces and I hid it back in the closet. We shared the same room. I had it all, I thought, camouflaged and everything. And months later, I darn near forgotten about it. And months later, I went in thinking, oh, well, I'd finish out this top layer, 5 layers. My Lord, the top layer was gone. We were almost through the second layer. I hugged her up. I nearly beat her to death. Mother said, my Lord, what are you doing? I said, this rascal ate all my candy. Oh, I was just furious. Oh, the poor thing, she hardly knew what was going on, but I was certainly beating her up.
She thought she discovered a natural source of chocolate and cream.
You betcha.
Or in back closets.
Our Sunday dinners down there. The first table was always great-grandfather, and then with your father, granddad.
All the big men.
All the big men, and then the table would be cleared off, and then the next batch would go, and the kids would get there about the 3rd or 4th table. How in the world you all cooked up enough food?
Grandma just kept running out to the hen house and got another chicken.
I will never understand that as long as I live.
I
But
can hardly remember her walking. She was always running, wasn't she, Marge?
I think so. She could go pretty fast, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
she
I
did.
can remember that. It was either the 3rd or 4th table that we kids would get around that big dining room table.
And there was always enough food for everybody.
Yes,
Oh, my
that was the
goodness.
thing. That's what I said. Where in the world all that food came from? I'll never be able to understand that.
I don't know whether you were old enough to remember or not, but your mother and dad came down and brought some professor with him. He had gone to school with the guy that he was going to, on the other side of Charleston there was a black school there, and he was head of that at that time. But he had been a roommate with this friend of yours. He was a black man.
West Virginia State, probably.
The guy in Parker, or Detroit, was white man. The guy down here was black, but they had room together in college. So when he came down with your dad and mother, you were probably along, why, he wanted to get in touch with this guy. So,
Yes,
you remember that?
yes.
Anyhow, he came over to mother and dad and told him to invite him over to
Colored man.
eat with us. Well, I just thought that was great. He played the piano. Boy, he could really play too. And I had seen colored people before on the bums off the railroad, but I'd never been up close to one. And I just thought he was really great. So then when it came time to eat, well, he came to the first table, along with the man from Detroit, and Effie Chambers was there from Charleston. She had black people that helped with her housekeeping and so. And when Mother had him seated at the first table, Effie came in the kitchen. Allie, you're not going to allow that black man to eat at your table, are you? The first table? She said, yes, indeed. He's a guest in my house, and if you don't want to eat with him, well, you can wait till the next table. Or that's however you want to manage, but he eats at the first table. Effie went out there, feathers flying.
Fluff, fluff, huh?
I thought it was great,
That did her in, especially when he was so talented on the keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can remember you used to play the piano a lot too, and I loved the piano, and you played the piano. Yes, you did.
Yeah, I know.
But I liked her clarinet.
Oh, yeah.
Joy.
Well, cleaning that was pretty good, I tell you.
I
got much didn't squeak. That didn't squeak right today.
Marge, how many people would they serve at a sitting?
Oh,
How much?
12 at the table.
Well,
And then 12, at least in the kitchen, would be kids. If you just had 2, why then you should feed them at the same time. But if you had 3, why she was busy switching, from the first table to the second. But I can remember just counting 12 people and 12 knives and forks and all this other jazz. just
I-
all the time.
I've thought that so many times, and it just boggles my mind, because there was Mother and Daddy and I, three of us, you know, and I'd go down there and all these people, I mean, you know, just, they're everywhere, they're
And whenever the
everywhere.
grandkids came, she knew what each one of the grandkids was their favorite food that she made. And she always made cottage cheese for me. You know, she'd let it sit down in the cellar and come bring it up and put it on. I could hardly wait till the curds and whey were all done, you know, and then she'd put this good cream on there. And I'd just sit there and drool, you know. Well, I was old enough to know better by the time she passed away, but Kathy, she'd always made apple pie for Kathy.
Ah, yes.
And Mother thought she was a fairly decent pie maker, and she was. But right after the funeral, Kathy came up to her with big tears on her face, and she said, "Now we'll never have another good apple pie again." Oh, which didn't help Mother at all. Like, she started to say, "Well, I can cook too, you know." But she said, "I almost said that," and then I thought, "Well, no, I'll just let it ride." But oh,
You tell
Kathy thought
Kathy,
no
you tell
one.
Kathy that it's not hidden. This kid makes it.
Mean
A
apple
terrific
pie.
apple pie.
Really?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Just a nice one.
Ah.
I haven't baked one for several weeks.
That's a hint, no doubt.
I think that was a hint, Jane. Apple season's about on us.
Good, good.
And all the grandchildren.
We'll be down, by the way.
Okay, very good.
All the grandchildren get ice cream and I get the great big piece of cheese.
Hazel was helping serve and one thing and another. He got, come over here, said, he embarrassed everybody. And when her leaned down so he could whisper to her, said, "I believe these beans are spoiled." Pickle beans.
Pickle beans.
He had never had
But
anything
see,
like that. Comes from
Uncle
Shepherd's.
Reed had never had pickle beans before.
They never
My
had
goodness.
pickle beans.
He said, "Mom doesn't know this, but I
don't
really
think I've
these
ever
grapes
tasted
are
pickle
spoiled."
beans.
You know, like there's pickled beans, pickled corn, and that kind of stuff, I cannot even tolerate it. I never did like it, but he loved it. Except they're actually
I've
cooked.
never tasted pickled beans. It's
Well,
not,
if
they're
they're
not to
too-
eat.
No, they aren't.
Crunchy,
Actually,
I'll
about
always
it,
say,
and they have the
Dante
smell.
or somebody, you know, I'd like to have a
Mother,
little
I've
past
had a
that
great big
stage.
jar of them, big jar of pickled corn on the cob, and then all good stuff.
Pickled corn. I haven't had pickled corn since my mother died. She had a crop of it, and I think I ate at least one crop one summer.
Oh, and
The
you
sauerkraut that
Oh,
used to be
yeah.
down in the cellar. Aunt Martha.
Yeah, down the cellar.
That was great. That.
And I remember the cheesecloth on the big plate and the rock.
Right, rock on top of the plate.
She was still asleep
I didn't like to do it.
30 minutes ago.
It is, right, yeah.
But the thing I remember is I said, sure, all the people at the table.
All the people, and Grandma never seemed to run out of food. If she did, she just ran out and got more potatoes and put them on, or killed another chicken.
Down here for a few seconds.
Oh, Lord, I don't know.
Yeah.
He had a great
I
time.
remember Marge was always so good to us
Are
kids.
the boards still
You know,
there?
Mother would say, "Now help with the dishes," and we'd go start to help, and Marge, bless her heart, she'd come up and say, "Oh, honey, you'll have to do these a long enough time. I'm already into them, so I'll just help you out." I'll never forget, you must have said that a dozen times to me. I don't know whether it was Laura or
Must have
Joanne.
been out of my head.
I think, I used to think, now that's the sweetest thing I ever did here. Said, "You go and play, you won't have plenty of time to wash the dishes later." And I thought, wow, I mean, how do you get an aunt this good? Oh.
Well, here they come, all dressed up from the wedding.
Hey! The nuptialation is all over.
Was it a crazy wedding?
I remember Sub and I standing at the pickup truck in front of the high school. And the music coming from the second floor of the community building. And you on the balcony of the community building. And you said, "Sub, get in here and dance with me." And Sub said, "Oh, kiss me." And you said, "I will not," and you get in here. And you couldn't have heard him, but you knew exactly what he was going to say.
I don't remember that one.
That was a right reunion.
And he had a pint in the glove compartment.
City Park. He never traveled with that.
And we had a drink, and he said, "She'll wait for me." And, you know, we had a drink, and then we had another drink, and then he went in and he danced with you. But you
That's
said,
my
come in and
mother.
dance with me. He said, oh, just
See,
fine.
right flag.
He said, I will.
And there's Uncle Duck, me. That's my husband, Bob. And that's Mother, and I don't know really who all else is. But this is Uncle Duck's wife, Aunt Flora.
Uncle Will Wright. Isn't that right, honey?
Yeah.
Okay.
This Ethel's daughter. Yeah, I met you last year.
Sometime here.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track when you don't see each other for a year's
If you don't
time.
have your nameplate on, I don't know you. Well,
Well, it wasn't hardly appropriate to wear it at the wedding.
Picture that you have of the white
maybe
children.
they didn't know her there either.
There you go.
She might, sure.
Yeah.
Did it go off?
There were old ones when this.
Everything
one, I think,
okay,
marked
Mom?
some of them, and then this other.
Okay.
Well, they walked a little
five.
ways down the
Give me five.
corn row, and finally it was hot, and she got tired. And they just piled them all in one pile and covered them over. Well, when the corn came up, or beans, whatever it was, here's this whole just, 100 shoots of whether it was corn or beans, whatever it was, came up. Oh, Grandpa could really found them out then. So Mother said they were walking back, half sniffing and crying after Grandpa had caught them in the deed here. And Solon was whining, and he said, "Oh," he said, "I tell you," said, "Dad picked up this big stick, said, just whomped me, said, nearly broke me all to pieces." Marge said a little bit, and Grady said, "Huh, that old rotten stick." Said he hit me with his hand. Said, "You didn't see it flying all to hell, did you?" Mother would just laugh when she'd tell this.
That was the one that, the way they finished up the tail, they went, down in the end of the pasture field had all these little gullies and things.
Yes.
They'd been down there playing and stood bringing the cows up like Dad told them to.
Oh.
As they came through the gate while he was grabbing and took the tailing off and picked one up and took the other in his hand. So they were doing it, and they were doing melting. So we'll said the same thing. They flew all the pieces. You didn't see that big old hand flying.
Like that old rotten stick.
That could have been from the same deal.
Well, now it could have been.
Don't y'all get rid of that dumb fly right there. It's been festering like that.
Missed it.
All
Right.
Now this is yours, Marge.
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, that's yours. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's Fred.
Yeah, well, that's a long time.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, he's working on a step.
Oh, is it?
Just, one step goes up here and up onto a porch, and it's gonna take.
How many children did you have?
Just three.
Three.
Well, we had another little girl, but she died this year. No, I found this, and I was afraid to bring it by itself. I was afraid it'd fall apart. So I put it in there.
Very good. Very good.
No, I don't.
Riding on a horse. She never remembered her name, but she can remember riding on a horse. That one time we visited. Come boy.
Kick that way. Kick that way. Oh, kick it that way.
Here, that's Fred.
Attaboy.
I can put it on the table.
Now, your kid shows up on the horse. I recognize. Oh, let me see. Close enough like his dad, I would recognize. Yes, it is.
That's a man.
We're debating. He might try to be a soccer player. He does like to kick the ball.
In Virginia, they're both the same age, 5.
Sister Esther Galvers and her husband Joe from Michigan and their daughter Eileen.
Okay, now, you, because you're Aunt Lucy's daughter.
Do whole thing.
Now we're into the Mabel's family, which is the Kigers and Ron or Orrin, whoever wants to do the honors over there.
Ron and Emily, my brother, Laura and
way you don't have to touch the car, so here we are. And our second daughter, Dee, and Debbie's son, Colin. Is that all of our name? Okay, now it's Eileen's turn.
Sit back and relax. This is my husband, Bill. This is Frank and his wife, Deb, Scotty, hold up a hand, and Sierra. Okay. And this is Drake, Kathy, his wife, Casey, and Brett. Okay, here we go. Here's Matt, Belinda, Travis, Joshua, Caleb. This is Chad and his wife, Christina. That's it.
Who are you?
At this time, I don't know.
Prolific.
Okay, now we're down at Sally. Joanne, take care of that.
This is my daughter Sally and her husband Don Mullins. They're from Conningsville. And this is my son Jim, who flew in from Germany.
Jim gets a prize for the lot of rusted bread.
That's it.
Good for frequent flyer, I would think.
Lisa couldn't come. She wanted to come so bad. Now that's Diaz.
Okay, now help me with the men in the family. Who was the oldest?
Mark.
Mark?
No, he's in Texas.
Okay, Solon is next, and that's Diane.
My husband Bob and Robin, daughter.
Okay, then Mark. Next, okay, so Bill Ed will let you be your.
Being my first trip here, I get to... Thanks a lot, friend. This is my wife, Joanne, and my brother, Lee. And that's the extent of us here.
Okay, then who's next? Solon, Mark. No, and no one's here. His family. Then Ed. Oh, that has to be Dennis.
Here it is. Stand up. This skinny little short guy.
We're still kind of the last few chambers carrying on, you know. But I'm here with my wife Cindy and my son Ed Chambers and daughter Virginia Chambers. And my sister is in New Jersey. Couldn't make it.
And then they say the very best for last. And my mother, Marjorie.
Well, they're going over all the different families.
Do the introduction.
They just
Heidi.
remember Edward Chambers' family.
So,
And Edward Chambers' family was Dennis.
well, Jack was here and had to go back to work. His wife June's here, and their granddaughter Kelsey, someplace. Back with them boys. In the corner. And then everybody knows I'm Joan. The ones that don't, I'm Joan. Then all the rest of the crew are saving up for next weekend, with the exception of Judy and John, because my nephew Sean's getting married in Elkins, so we're all going to be up there for that. But my brother John is here with his wife Dean and their two kids, John Paul and Nicole's over there somewhere. There she is. And my sister Judy and her friend John are here. And that's it. We'll get the rest of them out. They're saving up for next week.
Aunt Ollie's family's not here.
Besides that, we have George Chambers over here. He's on the other side of the Chambers family. He's in Wild Chambers.
We got him started.
Anybody who hasn't signed in, I wish you would sign in for me so we can get a count to see how many we really do have here. I think we beat last year. Hey, bounce.
show, we've had some of these little tiny pictures blown up so you can see the buttons on Aunt Mabel's shoes and some of the other things, which we're thrilled about. We just hope we get everybody taken into this. Everybody that needs a picture, I've tried to give them out to the girls or fellas whose mothers were in the picture. If you didn't get one and you want one, yeah, we'll get Kinko's to do us another one. We have two daughters. Is that what you want me to say now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, great. At any rate, our oldest, after being an English lit major at Indiana University, is now a Presbyterian minister in Cincinnati. After 20 years, she had the books again and did really well, and she's thrilled with this church in Cincinnati. It's just really very nice. Unfortunately, we didn't make it up to hear her preach. There should be in either Ireland or on a ship going through Norway, Fjords, and Denmark, and so forth. So we're not seeing her this time, but our youngest one is Cindy, and after 2 kids, I thought that was going to be it, but now we have 4. So that we can hardly manage, but they're a treat, and I did bring a picture of them since last year I had both girls here, and this year I don't have either one, so it's great to be here though. But I really think we need to give Phil a hand. He's just been fantastic. And we maybe should give Joanne a hand, you know.
Pick up the bill.
Oh, that's right. So, it's great to have this many here, and I feel sorry that Joan and June worked like slaves for weeks in advance of this, you know, but at any rate, it's great to be here, and that's it.
Aunt Lucy's family's next. So, Hester, Janie, Eileen, Luann, and gentlemen, you're on stage.
Let me get, I'll get some pre-pictures here.
Your mother. Your mother. Janie, you're up first. Speak.
Well, I'm Ed. But I think it's great to be here and to see everybody. And I just am sure that Steve would be thrilled and keep it going.
Since I'm going to speak.
Dan.
Get it up.
Yeah.
Here she goes.
As I said earlier, I'm giving bits and pieces to Medicare. But I'm here. My dear family, how delightful it is to see every one of you. I didn't really think I was going to be here, and if it weren't for my 2 lovely daughters, my lovely son, and my soon-to-be son, I wouldn't be here at all. I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being so kind to my Joe. He thought this was the greatest family on earth. And I agree. Now, please, mark your calendars. Saturday, November 28th, Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Aldersgate United Methodist Church. They're going to get married. Where are they? There they are.
I've been beside her too long.
In case you don't know, on my left is Luanna Deming, her husband, and my special son, Michael Scott Deming. And then we have Eileen Albers, the soon-to-be bride, and Mr. Thomas Sloan, a special. He cheats at cards. Let me tell you. But they are all wonderful, and I'm so glad that Janie could be with us. And come on, I come down here to West Virginia. The road runs 2 ways. Come up to Michigan. You'd like it.
Aunt Mabel.
Yep.
Group is next.
No music.
Away we go.
No, there we go.
We can create it.
Everybody want to race?
I've had that problem.
Get break. That helps a little bit, right?
enough.
Got stuck.
We're thankful to the Lord that we're present at this meeting. And we appreciate the fact that all of you have come out to meet us. And we praise the Lord for the heritage we all enjoy. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
That was awful short, sweet.
He told me to keep it brief.
Next is Hazel. Yeah, which, you're on.
There you go. Scrunch it in, scrunch it in.
All kids in the back.
You can tell we're a busy family.
Somebody spends too much time at home.
I'm Sue. I have 5 children. None of them are here, but they have a good excuse. Bill and Eileen had an exciting summer. They went to Florida and drove where fire was burning on both sides of the road. But the Damerons got 2 babies. My youngest son had his first child. Now, I haven't been, my oldest, the nearest grandchild that I have is 11. So this is Dwight's first, and it's wonderful. Alexander Myers Dameron. He's blonde, he's beautiful, and he's a good baby, and his dad was probably the rottenest baby that ever lived, so there's no justice, but anyway. And then I used to remember when I was growing up, and I wanted to be 21, like Brunel and Laura and Joanne. I never thought I'd live to be a great-grandmother. But here I am. Shannon had a beautiful baby, Cole, Jonathan Goodrich. He's dark-haired, beautiful. I recommend it to everybody. Got pictures. Couldn't be happier.
I am not yet a great-grandmother, but I'm really a grandmother, right? Because all the rest of these belong to me. And let me see, our sons, we have 5 sons. Greg, this is hard. Greg, Drake, Brett, who's gone to be with the Lord, Matt, and Chad. I'm probably going to forget names. Okay, let me see, Greg.
I didn't have Greg's family step out. So,
Okay, Greg's
because
family.
that was one, the Maddox question was going around, which one where. So,
Okay, Greg, his wife Bev, Scotty, and Sierra. Greg. All right. This is Drake, his wife Kathy, Casey, and Brett. Okay, Matt, his wife Linda, Joshua, Travis, Caleb. I'm doing real good. Chad, his wife Christina, and these are our new
I've got you. Okay, we got Sally now.
Okay, I'm Joanne's daughter, Sally. And probably most of you know we lost her the 8th of June this year. And my brother right now, he's in Mississippi, but he's stationed in Idaho, I think. He come back from Germany, so he's out west somewhere, but he's down south now. I think. I don't even know where he's at. My husband, well, he's in heaven. And that's about it. No kids, just a bunch of Now we're down to Uncle Solon's family. Huh? What do you know?
Let's see.
We're trying to help. We still remember. Are you sure?
What are you doing?
There's another brother, Jim, that's not here. I guess they don't want to associate with us.
I got you.
They were here, but they left.
Our grandchildren were here. We had Mindy and David were here, 2 of them anyway were here earlier, and they've already gone. Our daughter Christy's working. She's not here, and Rob is in Tennessee, so he isn't here either. He's coming this weekend, but wrong weekend.
I've got a son, Mark, and a daughter, Denise. My daughter's in London, England. And my son lives out 26 north of Marietta. And I've got 2 grandchildren.
I've got my husband Bob, he couldn't be here today due to the Wood family reunion and Kenny, and daughter Robin came from Pittsburgh, and they took him to the Woodbury. I'm sure they will. Uncle Mark's family.
Yeah, who's these?
Get her out of here.
Oh, yeah.
I keep thinking there's more of y'all here than this. Well, we just look like we're more. Yeah, you'll be teased out. Wow, pretty.
Well, I think we had more of us here last year, but this is all we could stir up this time. Bill, and this is Sister Margaret, young Sister Margaret.
That's right.
Baby. The baby, right. Joanne and I have 3 children and 5 grandchildren now. And some of them were here last year but weren't able to make it this time. We're pleased to be here. About the genealogy and the family histories over here. As I told somebody else already, if there's mistakes on the chart and in the papers, it's mine. If they're not corrected, it's your fault. There's a sheet over there that tells you the kinds of information that would be helpful to complete the chart if your children or grandchildren are not there. I'd love to be able to put them in. So if you will put the information on the sheet and send it to me, I'll be happy to do that. There are 2 documents over there, one of them on Jacob Solon Chambers, the other one on Clark Bailey. You're welcome to take a copy of that if you like. There's several copies over there. Someday we'll finally figure out what to do with all of this, but right now it's in the information gathering phase. Anybody that has pictures of their parents or the grandparents or their family and would like to get them sort of included in the package, I'd be glad to have them, copy them for you and send them back. Or if you want to visit Kinko's, they can scan them for you, and if you'll send me the floppy disk, I can put them in that way, kind of thing. So we've had lots of fun with it and enjoyed getting it this far. I'd be glad to carry it along for a while.
Between Ken and me and our families before and now, we have 2 daughters, a foster daughter, and a son, and 2
2 grandchildren. And we still live in Newport News, and there's lots of Virginia, and there's lots of exciting things that go on around there. People like to come and tour, and we now have an empty bedroom since the youngest one has graduated from college. So you're welcome to come and visit us, not in small groups, and take advantage. Take advantage. We just hand out the key and say, there's the driveway. Come on.
I'm glad to be here.
Next would have been Uncle Noel, and we don't have anyone here from his family. And guess who's next? Uncle Ed. Where's the little short Dennis? Where'd he go?
Just a little bit.
There he is.
In
It's filming.
1993, we have two children. Michael Clark Barton. That Clark name seems to stick. He is a marine engineer in San Diego, California. He's been there about 8 years. And our daughter Elizabeth Jean Barton, who is named for the town like we grew up in. And she likes that idea, even though I wouldn't be telling you. She is finishing up her doctorate in astrophysics at Harvard. Has about a year to go. In fact, I think I would have persuaded her to come today, but she has to make a poster of her work and stand next to it and explain it at Rutgers this weekend. Obliged to do that. I mean, when you're this close to your doctorate, you do what your advisor tells you to do. So she's there. Last year was a new resident of Columbus. I've been there a whole year and some now and enjoying it very much.
Yeah, our dad was Edward Clark Chambers, and I'm Dennis Clark Chambers, and this is Edward Boswell Chambers. This is my wife, Cindy Boswell Chambers, who used to be Cindy Boswell. And this is our daughter, Virginia Jane Chambers. And we live in Morgantown and involved in an engineering company up there. But as others have said, let me try to reiterate how important really the families and all the uncles and aunts have been to me, and I'm sure to all of us through the years. And I'm sorry that my kids didn't really have a chance to meet them and to understand what a fantastic family I think we had. This one weekend a year is the closest thing we have to try to let our kids see what was there. And it's a great opportunity for me to do that. And the people that really put this on, I'm very eternally grateful. Joan and June and the others down here in Ravenswood. So thank you all very much. And the family is very dear and close to me, of all the aunts and uncles and cousins, and obviously they're your children. So that's
Well, he's not the one that cooks. He's not the one that makes it.
5 sisters and then 3 brothers. So there's quite a large group of us. Mom says I've done good. Like Denny said, I felt I was the right age to have had the aunts and uncles and cousins. It's great. That's about all I can say. Kind of jokes me because I miss them.
We miss all of the ones that aren't here anymore, and that's one reason that June and I do enjoy doing this. And although she told me she was going to be sick last week, I said, that's it, no reunion. You're sick, there's no reunion. But she recovered, and we enjoy doing it. If we didn't, we wouldn't do it. We appreciate everybody that comes and helps out and brings food or just brings yourself and stuff. And the only one of my sisters that made it was June, and she came from Florence, had car trouble yesterday, didn't get in town the last night, but they made it. And I'll let her, even though she's teary-eyed, I'm passing it on to her. What happened to Bridget?
Lose her to her.
Oh, she's resting.
This is my husband, Al. Arnold is known here, but he changed his name since we went south. It's Al. This is Jay. His wife Bridget was here for a while. She's expecting her first child in December, so be grandma. And she wasn't feeling very good, so he took her down to Rockingham. And this is our youngest, Kimberly. Crystal's working. You know how it is when they're teenagers. Yes. She's working, and so she didn't come in. A couple more years, maybe she'll fall back into this here. But we look forward to this every year and enjoy all the aunts and uncles, and I do miss a lot of them.
Now, did we miss anybody? We had Christy's daughter had a boyfriend, but they left, so he was lucked out. He didn't want to be introduced. We did that. Oh, we already got
mentioned
yeah.
Jers.
Jers, yeah. Jers, how come you didn't get up here on these Chamberses? Because he's one of them wild Chamberses. He and Belinda are here. I'm about to forget him. You too, honey. Yes, sir, Belinda. Yes, you can. This is another side of the Chambers, is the wild side. The wild side. The wild too. Fight for my honor.
We call them uncle all the time. I knew them just about well and better than our own uncles. Stayed with us. With the one at Charleston, the one that sold it, who traveled over to Charleston? What was his name?
Eddie?
Tiger.
How about Uncle Virgil?
Charleston. He traveled all the time. Somebody helped him.
This would have been.
I was with him a whole lot. He would come out to Dad's farm or something, he and his wife would stay there or something and so on. And I got to know him real well. He always had a story to tell. He'd tell me, which is the truth. Next to him within 20 foot or so on was Uncle Will Webb's house. And Dad went out when he wanted to call for Frank. Uncle Frank comes in one day. To come and he come to Dad asked him, where did Will Webb live? And Uncle Frank said, we're right over here. And Dad said, I can't hear. He said, where does Will Webb live? He said, well, right here. Dad said, I can understand that. And he turned around to his wife and said, they come here and tell this deep son of I knew Uncle Frank, I was with him several times when his son was going to school. And we was there on Sunday, and Uncle Frank and I was going to church, and he'd come and pick us up. And he had this girl with him, and Uncle Frank going around, opened the door, rubbed the girl's face, and said, I just wanted to see what kind of girl was coming out there. He didn't associate with my son. So I can stand here and tell some of these stories on your all stuff and so on, and all that, because I knew it was better than any of you did. So I don't think, that's enough.
I think there's plenty of dessert left, and there's some other food if anybody gets hungry after bed. Just sit around and enjoy, stay as long as you want.